Hey y'all, hey, it's your girl Delisa Robinson, the real estate diva out here in these real estate streets. Coming to you live tonight because we're going to talk about the creative strategies so you can build a portfolio. Because I do have some news. So we're going to talk about that tonight. Creative strategies to help you build a real estate portfolio. So, without further ado, for those of you who do not know me, may be watching this later, I am Delisa Robinson. I am the real estate diva. I do specialize in creative finance strategies to get you into the real estate investment business with little to no money out of pocket and without having great credit. Okay? Now, a lot of people say, well, no, I've been told that you need a whole lot of money and you need this. No. Stop listening to what people said and start listening to what I'm telling you to do. Okay? I'm not scamming you. I'm not telling you not to do. And they say, oh, that's what everybody say, we're not scamming you. Great. But I'm telling you what I do to build my portfolio. So, and I'm doing it live right now. Okay? Now, I have been in this real estate game for the past 24 years. I started out as a buy and hold investor, meaning I was a landlord. And we did pretty good for a long time. And then we started flipping. Then I got into short-term rentals. And then I got into wholesaling. And then now we just have a hodgepodge of mixed soup and everything else. Hey, Lucretia, how you doing out there in the Instagram world? So now we have this big hodgepodge of everything that's going on. So I'm going to show you guys now that this is the new Instagram page and the new Facebook page, thanks to the lovely hacker who hacked my previous account. So now we have to go live from where we are now. We have to start rebuilding. Not only do we have to start rebuilding, we have to start rebranding. So what a perfect time to do it than now. So with that being said, let's talk about it. Now, number one, if you see me looking down, it's because I have a notebook. I have a notepad here, and I don't use a regular notepad. I use these big sketch pads. So I have notes and stuff that I have to take and things that I remember. It comes to my mind while I'm talking. I write it down and remember to say it later. And then I have my laptop over here to keep me on track with what I'm supposed to be doing in this agenda. All right. Now, I do have some housekeeping things. Please, if you hear something that resonates in your soul, hit the hearts in the lower right hand corner. If you hear something that you do not understand, ask a question in the comments, because I can see the comments. Okay? All right? So I need you to ask a question in the comments. Also, pay attention to the Facebook page, pay attention to the Instagram page, because what's getting ready to happen is I have a free masterclass coming up on July 30th, and I'm going to be posting the links for that soon. Here's the deal. I have a community called Hammers and Heels. Why? Because men and women are welcome to join this group and network within our society of like-minded real estate investors to make deals happen. You don't necessarily have to do it with me. You don't even have to buy a course from me to be in a group. The group is totally free. It's a Facebook group. Join us, Hammers and Heels. We all in. Okay? Now, in that group, they usually get the links. They usually get the discounts. They usually get everything first in the group within Hammers and Heels. Another way to get into Hammers and Heels is to text the word diva in all caps to 716-306-3316. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of y'all went and didn't get on the text list, and I just texted out that I was going live. I also emailed out that I was going live. So there's about 800 people that know I'm going live. And guess what? Half of them not going to show up. And that's fine, because they know they'll get the replay later. And that's another thing you get in Hammers and Heels Elite. And Hammers and Heels Elite, which is my actual mentorship program, they actually get the replays of all my lives. So, not to mention everything else that they get. So now, the free group, Hammers and Heels Facebook group, join us. It's on Facebook. Tamara, if you don't know how to get into it, you can click the link in my bio, tap the button that says join Hammers and Heels. You can get that, and it'll take you right to the Facebook group, so you can join. Okay. Second, you can text DIVA in all caps to 71681. Ooh, I was about to give y'all my phone number. Woo! No, don't text that. DIVA in all caps to 716-306-3316 and get in with your girl. And we will be having that free masterclass coming up first. And I'm telling you, the link is going to my Hammers and Heels group, my free Facebook group, my people on my text list, and the people in my email list first, because the seats are limited, and that's the perk they get for joining and hanging out with DIVA. Okay, now let's talk about something else. Here's what I tell everybody. Like, we were talking about how to organize and set up your real estate business, and that's part of what we're going to talk about tonight, because there are so many different ways to get into this business, but the foundation is how you start. Thank you, Shanika, for putting that in there. Now, what I'm saying to you is this. Now, number one, there are five ways that I personally use creative financing to build a portfolio. And those 5 are short-term rentals, also known as Airbnb, wholesaling real estate, seller financing. See, I didn't know about all this, right? Subject to, and that's subject to the financing in place, assuming the mortgage, and tax deeds in my state, and tax liens in y'all's. Okay, those are the 5 ways, and those are the 5 ways we're going to discuss in detail on July 30th at 11 a.m. It is a Saturday morning. Get your butts up, get the music going early, clean up, take a shower, get relaxed, and spend an hour or 2 with me. All right. Now, the one thing people don't understand, people's like, oh, wholesaling is not, you're not an investor if you wholesale. Let's talk about that. A wholesaler has what we call equitable interest. Equitable interest is what's earned as soon as you sign a contract saying that you're going to purchase a property. That means you have specific interest in that property, and you are able to dictate what can happen to that property because you have it under contract. So that means, and it has to be in the contract. There's a certain way you have to write up a contract for purchase for the wholesale for the wholesale contract. So, no, Tam, we are not, it's not this Saturday, it's July 30th. All right, so when we say you're wholesaling real estate, what you're doing is selling your equitable interest in the transaction. So the seller, every time I go live, I told you, every time I go live, it's like they know I'm going live, so they come around with this daggone siren every single time. I don't know what to tell y'all. Anyway, so the seller has agreed to sell the property to you, giving you equitable interest. Then what's going to happen is you've agreed to sell it. I've agreed to sell it. The sellers are selling it to me. I'm the wholesaler. Okay? I've agreed to sell it to John. He's what we call the end buyer. Okay? Now, by having the end buyer, that means he's the man with the money. 9 times out of 10, it's going to be cash. And you can wholesale a finance deal. Except FHA. Something going on with that. So the end buyer. And then you have your end buyer has the money. Normally 9 times out of 10, like I said, 9 times out of 10 is cash. So then what happens is Miss Susie, the seller, sells it to me, to Lisa. I decide I don't want to buy it, so I assign my position to John, and John pays me a fee for doing that. Why am I not an investor? Oh, because investors want to hold on to property. All investors don't own property. You can have a REIT, real estate investment trust, and not own property. You can be the bank and invest in real estate and not own property. You can be a seller financing and you're not owning property. You see what I'm saying? So all of these three people are, you consider these three people investors, so why not the wholesaler? Am I not in this transaction? Yes. Am I not making money off this transaction? Yes. So I'm invested in this transaction, therefore making me an investor. Right? Right. Just nod your head and say yes. It's easier that way. It's so much easier that way. Just nod your head and say yes. All right? Okay. Now, so that's how wholesaling works. Here's the part that you guys need training on. What do you say to Miss Susie to get her to sell your house? To sell her house? How do you find John to get him to buy the house? See, then there's me in the middle, your coach, telling you what to say to Miss Susie and how to find John. That's why you need the class, July 30th. Okay? Now, how simple is this? Well, my friend Sean, she's a coach. Her student, she's one of my former students, but now she coaches, and I'm glad she does because it helps me a lot. Her student just made a $27,000 assignment fee by selling his position, his equitable interest, from Miss Susie to John. And he made $27,000. I'm trying to figure out who don't need $27,000. I'm trying to figure out who don't need $5,000. Who don't need $2,500. That's just how it is. So when I say wholesaling is investing and you have equitable interest, which makes you invested in the transaction, so therefore you are an investor. Okay? Wholesaling is what we call an exit strategy. When you get into real estate, you don't get into real estate to stay in it. A lot of people will hold on to a lot of different properties. A lot of people will hold on to the properties. A lot of people will hold on to and they'll hold it for a while before they actually try to get rid of the property or whatever. Sometimes people, and we just had this conversation in our weekly coaching call, we just had this conversation where we're talking about multifamilies, commercial properties, and how you wholesale them differently than you do a residential property. That's cool too. But the thing is, people on the commercial side sell for different reasons than a person would on a residential side. On a residential side, they're going to sell you a property based on their family is downsizing or their family's, hey Sandrika, thank you. I'm going to call you when I get off this live. They're going to teach you, they're going to sell residential. Miss Susie is residential. She's going to sell based on her need. She might need the money. She might need to downsize. She might need to upgrade. She might need to move closer to family. She might need to relocate for her job. So she is actually going to sell you a property based on need. On the commercial side, they're going to sell a property based on wants. I want to invest this money in another project. I want to pull my money out of this project because I've made my money already. I want to transfer this property to my son or my daughter or to a different company, or I want to move this property to another entity. However they want to do it, that's why they do it. So on the residential side, it's more need. On the commercial side, it's a want. Okay? They don't want to pay all those damn taxes. That's why they do it that way. All right. So that's wholesaling in a nutshell. So we're going to talk about my favorite, Airbnb. Everybody's like, oh, Airbnb, that's not real wholesaling. You don't own any property, blah, 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 blah. Well, it's not real estate. You don't own any property. I smell BS. Because let me tell you, you can rental arbitrage, which is what a lot of people are getting into the real estate game doing right now. And they're taking this money and they're getting into this real estate business. They're taking this money and they're doing like maybe $5,000. They're taking like $5,000 and they're finding an apartment and they're leasing this apartment. They're furnishing this apartment. They're getting everything done. And then you know what happens? They make that $5,000 back real quick. Real quick. Now, we have this conversation all the time. People ask me, why did you do Airbnbs in Buffalo? First of all, that's where I'm at. Let's be real clear. Second of all, it's a year-round city. And everybody's like, Buffalo's not a year-round city. Buffalo is cold. They don't do Y'all don't think people like cold weather sports? Football is a cold weather sport. Hockey is a cold weather sport. And we have the Buffalo Bills and we have the Buffalo Sabres. Hockey starts in October. And it ends in June. Yeah, they play like 150 games in hockey. And we have a major team. So people actually come to see the Sabres a lot. Okay? We also have Canal Side in Buffalo. Canal Side is our waterfront area. Guess what they do in the wintertime? Ice skating, ice bikes. Yes, people are riding bikes on the ice. We got ice bumper cars. Yeah. Ice bumper cars. So people are doing these activities. They're also going skiing. They're also coming for the Bills games. They're enjoying the Sabres games. So they're visiting their family they're visiting their family for the holidays, or they're coming for a wedding, or they're coming for a graduation. People all over this world have ties to Buffalo. Why? Because we're a border state. What do we have that attracts more people to Buffalo than anything else? Even though it's not even located in Buffalo? Niagara Falls. It's 20 minutes down the 190. I think I'm joking. I just drove it the other day. I didn't go to the falls though. People that live here don't go to the falls. I'm sorry. We don't. All right. So that's what happens. So that you have to pick a city that's year round so you can make year round money. Houston is a year-round city. They have a rodeo, they have a football team, they have a basketball team, they have a baseball team. They have places that people actually want to go to, like the Turkey Leg Hut and the Galleria. And they have festivals all year round. So there's always something to do in Houston. There's a lot of major corporations in downtown Houston that relocate their employees to come in. So that's what happens. Okay? Atlanta, year-round city. Phoenix, year-round city. There's a lot of Tampa is a year-round city. Anything in Florida is gonna float. I'm sorry. Anything in Florida is gonna fill up. Yes, it is going to fill up in Florida. Hi, Angelique. How you doing, babe? So that's why people choose certain cities. People choose these obscure locations like the woods, a tree house in Puerto Rico, a cabin in the woods, a house on the lake. People like different, tiny houses. So you have to understand that people like different. Why do we rental arbitrage? Because we don't own anything, but we still want to build up something in the process of getting people into real estate. So somebody may have $5,000, might have $8,000, but they may not own anything. Why are you hating on these people? Because they decided to go out and rent an apartment, sublease it on Airbnb, and to make money. Guess what? They just help the economy. What are you doing? Well, how did they help the economy, Delisa? You're not doing anything. Yes, they are. First of all, number one, there's no longer a vacancy at that apartment complex. Okay? We took a vacant apartment and turned it into an occupied apartment. That helps the apartment complex. Right? Now, because they're housing people coming into the city, that helps the city. Just like the hotels used to. So they got ridiculous with their prices. So now they offer a home away from home. So people, not only do they come in to vacation, travel, lodge, relax, but think about your traveling nurses. When they travel to these other places, they need somewhere to live. Think about your executives who get relocated with their families. They need somewhere to live. They don't want to live in a hotel. They want to live in an apartment where it's comfortable. Y'all hear me? Y'all sure? Because I don't think y'all do. So this is why. So you're trying to tell me that these people, I'm about to pull my calculator out just so y'all know. All right. So a 2-bedroom apartment in Buffalo, I'm paying $1,800. Okay? But if I charge $149 times 30 nights, I made $4,400. Subtract the $1,800, subtract the $250 for incidentals and electric and gas, and I made $2,420. Right? Wrong. I still have to pay my cleaner, which she's getting paid $100 every time she comes in to clean. And yes, I'm charging a cleaning fee. So if say that's 3 guests, so out of that, there's plus $300, so it's $2,720 minus the $300 because it's going to go to the cleaner. Then you'll also have to minus the 3% that Airbnb is going to take. Okay, so subtract $72 basically is what it come out to be. 3%, $72. So you got $2,420 minus, say, 73 because I like round numbers because it came to 72 and some change. I now have $2,347. Now, if I was able to do this at least 6 months times 6, I just made $14,000 profit. I take this $14,000 and put it into a flip. I have a friend, Angelique. She wants to flip a house. She's like, Delisa, I got about $15,000. If you give me $10,000, I'm like, sure, I'll give you $10,000. So now we have $25,000, and we're flipping a house. So how am I not an investor? I'm just trying to figure it out. Everybody is so quick to say what somebody is not. Mind your business. And get this money. So I take my $14,000 and put it into Angelique's flip at $25,000 because she needed, 20% of 25. So it's a $125,000 loan that she had. So now it's a $100,000 loan because we had to put $25,000 down. She took out a $100,000 loan. We put $50 to purchase and $50 to fix it up. Now this house is worth $250, right? We pay off the money that we owe, the 100 plus whatever interest, blah blah blah, and we still have my $10,000. My $14,000 just turned into, divide that by 2, approximately $100,000. After everything's said and done, I might walk away with $75,000. And guess what? I still have this Airbnb. See, Angelique's like, yeah, I love a flip. Me too, Angelique. I can't wait to do one. Well, another one, because I've been doing them again. I was about to say I can't wait to do one with you. But this is it. So now, Angelique just made $75,000. I just made $75,000. And I'm still getting $2,300 a month off my Airbnb. So now that I have this $75,000, am I now an investor? I was an investor before. So now when I have the 75,000, I take 10,000 out of that and I loan it to Sharice. I'm just naming the people I see on the live, to be honest with y'all. And I loan that 10,000 to Sharice because she needed money to start her project. Okay, now I'm giving Sharice this money at 6% interest. So that $10,000 times, that's 600. I'm bad at math, so don't laugh when I do simple math this way, okay, guys? I have to make sure it's right. So now I just made $600 off of Sharice. I made $75,000 with Angelique, and I still got this Airbnb. Right? I still got the Airbnb. So now I have a flip, an Airbnb that's still paying me money. So guess what? I'm about to get another one. And now I'm the bank for Sharice, so I made money there too. Now I'm an investor. Okay. I was an investor before. As soon as I put the lease on that Airbnb. That's what you want to do. All right, guys? All right. So, the other thing we want to talk about seller financing. Because y'all love seller financing. So y'all think, anyway, until y'all do it wrong and realize y'all losing y'all money. Okay, so now I got to get more paper out because I wrote on all of them. See, y'all think I'll be joking when I tell y'all I write. See? I write. And then I flip my paper in half and I write on the second half of the paper. I write on the half of the back of the page too. So now we're going to talk about seller financing. Now, with seller financing, right? And don't be alarmed, guys. I'm doing this live on July 30th at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. If you want to join in, you will join Hammers and Heels because the seats will be limited. And we're going to sell, Hammers and Heels will get the first come, first serve action on this one. So, we're going to do seller finance. So, Miss Susie, because that's my favorite neighbor down the street, wants to sell her house, right? She wants $99,000 for it. Miss Susie, I can't give you $99,000. I just saw your sewer back up last week. That's a $10,000 fix. And you got mold in your basement because you never fixed that from the sewer backing up. So that's another $10,000 fix. So how about I give you $80,000, Miss Susie? She goes, oh yeah, I would love to. Okay, so Miss Susie agrees to sell me her house at $80,000. I agree to put $5,000 down. I've convinced her that she don't need interest because I'm going to pay this off in 3 years. Because Miss Susie, we cool. It ain't like I'm scamming her or nothing. We just cool and she did it like that, okay? Now, so I put $5,000 down. It brings my mortgage down to $75,000. I have no interest. Miss Susie has a lien against my house because she's the bank. Just like when you go to the bank and get a mortgage, don't they put a lien on your house? Right. So Miss Susie puts a lien on my house for $75,000. I agree to pay Miss Susie $800 a month. Okay. Right? Then I rent this house after I put the $10,000 into it to fix everything. So now I'm up to $15,000 invested in this house, right? Right. But I have an $80,000 house that I had appraised, and the appraisal came out at $125,000. So I immediately got $40,000 in. I have $45,000 in equity. Now that's $45,000, $45,000 that I can pull from this house. But I'm not going to pull it just yet. I'm going to fix up the house, put everything in it, and then I'm going to rent it to, let me see who else is on here. I'm going to rent it to Tamara. Right? So now Tamara's paying me $1,800. Right? So if Tamara's paying me $1,800 and I'm paying Miss Susie $800, that means the lease is grossing. I gross $18 and I have $1,000 not cash flowing yet because I still have to pay taxes, insurance, and water bill, let's just say. And then I also want to put some away for just in case this mess start to fall apart and I got to fix something else. So that's the just in case fund, right? Right. So now when that's all said and done, we talking about Buffalo. I'm paying I'm cash flowing about $750 a month. We'll say $700. So $300 is going to this tax fund over here. So that's $3,600. That's going over there to the taxes, insurance, water bill, and the just in case people. And that's $700. So that's $700 a month in my pocket. But Delisa, why would somebody want to do that when they could just sell their house? Because they don't want to fix it up. Because they want too much money for it and they can't get it all at once. So they've agreed to get it over time. Because on the open market, that house would have sat. That's why. What's the benefit to the seller? Cash flowing. What's the benefit to the seller? Cash. Because Miss Susie is getting $800 a month. Not tax free because she has to pay taxes on that money. But she don't have to do not one stitch of work to this house. Do the bank come fix your faucet when it's leaking? No, you gotta fix it. Do the bank come fix your toilet when it's overflowing? No, you gotta fix it. Does the bank come and cut your grass? No, you have to cut your own grass. So that's why people seller finance. Now, what's the benefit to me to seller finance? I just made $45,000 in equity. That's number one. Number two, I'm paying 0% interest when interest rates just went up to 6 and 7%. That's number three. I didn't have to prove my income. Number four, I didn't have to run my credit. Number five, I didn't have to put 20% down. All right. All right. Yeah. Anywho, okay. Now, I keep telling y'all, July 30th, 2022 at 11 a.m., I will be going in depth. I will be giving you guys exact examples. We'll be running math, and I will be going over how to put these deals together and where you can find these type of deals, first of all. Okay, so that's what we're gonna be doing on the 30th. So text the word DIVA, DIVA, in all caps to 716-306-3316 in order to get in on this conversation, because Hammers and Heels is getting it first. And don't forget, share this, like this, invite people in, because we still going. I still have 2 more to show y'all. All right. So this is just the beginning. This is just a little stuff. All right. So now I'm cash flowing $700 and Miss Susie cash flowing $800. Now that's keeping her where she need to be. Maybe she moved to Florida with her kids. Maybe she moved to Arizona with her kids. Whatever. You see what I'm saying? So now she has a cash flowing property and I have a cash flowing rental property with $45,000 in equity. That's only going to keep appreciating. So in the 3 years, when these 3 years is up and I have to pay her this balloon payment, now let's do the math on that. Now she's getting $800 a month, right? Times 12. So that's 96 times 3. That's $28,800 plus the $5,000 I gave her. Miss Susie has made $33,800. Subtract that from the $80,000. I only owe Miss Susie $46,200. The house, now the equity 46,200. The equity, we were at 25,000, 125,000 now, right? So let's say it appreciates at a rate of 6% each year. So it's another 7,500 times 3 plus the 125. So we're at 147 now. This house is now worth $147,000, 47,500. I only owe 46. So subtract my 46 to, I have $101,300 in equity that I can pull out if I want. How much money have I cash flowed? $700 times 12 times 3. I've cash flowed 25,000. So in this equation here, I've made $126,500. It's a no-brainer, right? I mean, really, it's really a no-brainer. So I've made, in 3 years, I've made $126,000. You're like, wait a minute, how can you make $126,000? You only cash flowing $700 a month, because $7,500 a year, 700 times 12, 84. I'm sorry. See, I told you I'm bad at math. I told you I'm the only person in National Honor Society got a B in math. I guarantee it. 8,400. Okay, and not even a B. It was a B minus. But I had such high grades and everything else, they had to let me in. So 8,400 a year times 3. That's my 25,200. The house has increased in value $102,000. That's where I made 102 from. So I made 102, 5. Yeah, I made 102.5. Let me double check my math. Hold on. Yeah, I was right. I made 102.5, right? Plus the 25,200. That's how I made 127.5. It's actually 126.5 because it was 101. It was 101. Sorry, guys. 125. So that's how I made 126,000. So I have 100 in equity and I have 25,000 in cash. It's a no-brainer. Now, why would you not want a seller finance? Where can you find these seller finance deals? Very simple. It's only how you talk to people. A lot of y'all come out your mouths and y'all say, oh, would you consider rent to own? Hell no. I don't want to rent to own. I want to get rid of my house. I don't want to have a responsibility of tenants. I don't want to have a responsibility of maintenance. That's the reason why I'm selling this house, so I don't have to worry about that. So that's when you get into the other side. Okay, sir, would you consider seller financing? You know how many people are going to say yes to this? Once you explain it to them properly. Hey, EJ, how you doing, babe? Hey, Cap. So that's when you have to say what it is. You make off of a seller finance deal a house that she wanted $99,000 for. You got it for $80,000. You put $5,000 down. You pay her $800 a month. You're making $1,800 a month. And does it happen like this? Yeah, if you structure your deal the right way, and that's my job, to show you how to structure the deal the right way. So, again, for the people in the back who didn't hear me, we are going to learn creative finance strategies for building your real estate portfolio. Because now my question is, what's stopping you from doing this at least 3 times in a year? So if you did this at three times in a year, you would be making $700 a month times 3, $2,100 a month times 12. You would be cash flowing. That 25.2. That 25.2 is now annual. Instead of what you made in 3 years, you now made it in 1. So multiply that times 3. Now you made the $75,600 in 3 years. Now you have 3 properties that have increased in equity, $100,000. So you have $300,000 in equity, right? So now you have $375,600 that you have made. You have to understand that in real estate, on the residential side, you make your money when you buy, not when you sell. Okay? Are you guys understanding that? If you have questions, please ask. I don't like people to come into my live trainings and say, "Oh, Delisa, I was so afraid to ask a question. I didn't think you didn't want to ask a dumb question." There's no such thing as a dumb question when you don't know the answer. Okay? Just because I know the answer, don't make it right. Don't make it a dumb question, is what I'm saying. So, that's that. Now, what did we do? We did Airbnb. We talked about how to do the Airbnb. We talked about wholesaling. We did the seller financing. Now, let's talk about the opposite of seller financing. You can only do seller financing when the seller does not have a mortgage. If there's a mortgage on the property, you're going to do what we call subject to. Subject to, what does that mean? Subject to the current financing in place. All right? Hey. Oh. Ew. Y'all already know. Been up since 5 a.m. I'm surprised I'm still functioning. So, if I get a little loopy, it's because I'm sleepy. All right. Now, so we're going to talk about subject to. What is subject to? Subject to the current financing in place. It is also known as assuming the mortgage. Okay. Now, do me a favor, y'all. Stop keeping me a secret. Share this video with your friends. Invite your friends in. I need everybody on Instagram to share this video with 3 people right now. I need everybody on Facebook to just share this on your page. Will I keep this up? Yeah, I'm keeping this up. This is going to stay up. So, Lisa, you missed the beginning. Ha! 30 lashes. How dare you miss it? You on the list. You are on the Hammers and Heels list. How'd you miss it? You didn't get your text? You didn't get your email? How'd you miss me? Okay, if you don't want to miss any of these trainings, let me tell y'all, because Instagram will cut me off in a minute. Facebook let me go as long as I want to, but Instagram is shady, and they haters, and they don't want me to be great. They'll cut me off. So, anytime, text the word DIVA, D-I-V-A, in all caps to 716-306-3316. And email. See? Yeah. So you didn't catch your email in time. Well, yeah. I got something else coming out for you guys on my email list. If you're on my Hammers and Heels list, you will be first, because this seating for this class on July 30th is limited. So by it being limited, you will have to by this being limited, you're gonna have to, my Hammers and Heels crew is getting it first. So they already know. Cap, no, he in Hammers and Heels. If you are in Hammers and Heels, you will get this training first. You will get first come, first serve. You will get first dibs to come into this training. Then the next day, we're sending it out to everybody else. So on Wednesday, everybody else will be able to register. On Tuesday, tomorrow, Hammers and Heels will be able to register. That's what we do. That's why they join. Not because they just love me and my pretty brown face. Trust me. Told you I was about to get loopy. All right, now subject to. Subject to is assuming the mortgage. First of all, you have to do this a certain way. I'm not going to get into the details of the contracts that you need. But when you do subject to, it is subject to the financing that is in place. That means if there's a mortgage on this loan, the bank has a right to do what we call a call, and they'll call the loan. And it's a due on sale clause that activates when the deed transfers. Okay? Now, in order to keep that from happening, you have to set this loan up a certain way. In order for that to happen, you have to set this loan up a certain way. All right? So, you're going to need 3 contracts. I think, wait a minute, we'll start with number 1. You're going to need a purchase agreement. Why do I need a purchase agreement, Elisa? Because you're selling a property. Even though the mortgage is going to stay in the name of the seller. What? How can I be sure? Who am I going to pay? How? I know what y'all about to ask. Go ahead and ask your questions. Just because I'm not going to answer all your questions. So just go ahead and ask your questions. The mortgage is going to stay, even though you are buying this house from Miss Susie. Right? And Miss Susie has a mortgage of $140,000. And her mortgage payments are $800 a month. Okay? And you have to put down $15,000. That $15,000 is going, 5 of it is going towards the back mortgage payments because Miss Susie is behind in her mortgage. Okay? The other $10,000 is going in Miss Susie's pocket because that's what you paid her to give you her house and go away. All right? So now Miss Susie made $10,000. She gone. So who you paying the money to every month? The bank. See, this is the problem. This is the thing. The bank don't care who paying the mortgage as long as the mortgage is getting paid. They don't want this house. They want the mortgage. So what you're going to need, besides a purchase and sale agreement, you're going to need a power of attorney. But Delisa, why do I need power of attorney? Because if you have power of attorney over this piece of property, it allows you to call that bank without Miss Susie interfering. It allows you to know that you are the only one to get information on this account. It also allows the bank to know that you are in the picture without them knowing you have transferred the deed to this property, because the next form you're going to need is an in trust. This property is going to go in trust. That eliminates the due on sale clause. All right. Now, let's do the math. This is a 3-unit property. And yes, these are actual scenarios that I've used, okay? This is a 3-unit property and it's owed $140,000. I put down $15,000. That went to the bank and Miss Susie. The bank, I have a power of attorney and I put the property in trust. Now, the property is mine. Because guess what? The deed goes into my name. The deed is in my name. The mortgage is still in Miss Susie's name. Our purchase agreement says I can keep it in her name for 5 years. This is a 3-unit apartment building that Miss Susie wasn't making any money on at all. It is maxed out in equity, so there's 0 equity to be made right now. But there's $2,400 a month that can be made. Because these 3 units can all rent for a minimum of $800 a month. Minimum. So it gives me $2,400, and $800 of that $2,400 is going to the bank. Guess what's included in my mortgage? My taxes, my insurance. So what am I paying out of my $1,600? What am I paying on my $1,600? I'm paying a water bill, a common area electric bill, and a user fee. We have those in Buffalo. User fee. That's to pick up the trash. Okay? But I'm making, now all of that stuff comes out to be about $150 a month. So out of my $1,600 minus 150 and minus another 160, why am I minusing that extra 10%? I'm minusing that extra 10% because we have this thing called a just in case fund, and that money at 160 is going to go in a just in case fund, just in case, right? So I'm down to $1,290 a month cash flowing. So times 12, I make $15,480 a year off this house. And guess what's happening? Because I fixed it up a little bit. That zero equity that I had, because my mortgage payment is getting made, I could take an extra $290 a month and put it on that mortgage payment and cash, and just say, oh, I'm going to cash flow $1,000 and make $12,000 for the first 5 years, just so I can build some equity. I've already done forced appreciation because I've improved the property and increased the rents. See, forced appreciation, that's something y'all don't really know about, so I'll talk to y'all about that later. Another day, another class, okay? We might do a terminology class one day. Get y'all into this habit. So y'all see what I'm saying now? Everybody understand? Say yes. Let me see you drop a 1 in the comments on both sides. Facebook is over here, Instagram is over here. Drop a 1 in the comments if you understand what I'm saying right now. So I have $1,000 because I'm gonna take the extra $290 and try and build in the equity. So that extra $290 a year going straight to principal is gonna bring that down. So that's gonna force the equity. Then the fact that I fixed it up a little bit and I put tenants in it, and now it's income. It has income on it. It's generating income. It's going to be, the appreciation is going to be forced. So it's called a forced appreciation. It's not like a normal appreciation. So we'll talk about that later. Anywho, so now here comes 5 years. So that's $12,000 times 5. $60,000 I've made on the house. My mortgage has gone down because I'm paying $800 toward the normal payment, $290 towards the interest. I'm no math genius, but that's gonna come down. So let's just say now it's at $100,000. The normal 6% appreciation rate. That's $8,400 times 5. Now add 142 to the 140. My house is now worth $182. I only owe about $100. And I made $60. So I pretty much got $82,000 in equity right now. Yeah. There's that. But why would somebody do this? Because they can't afford their mortgage anymore, or they need to move and they can't sell it because there's no equity in it. So they might say, "Hey, do you mind taking over my mortgage?" Or they just don't want to live here no more. They might be getting divorced and whatever might be having you. The spouse could have passed away. Anything is possible when you're working like this. All right, Lisa. Okay. Now, last but not least, is one of my other favorites. Tax deeds. See, now, rule number 1, find out what your state is. Rule number 1, find out what your state is. Is your state a tax deed state or a tax lien state? Now, I'm going to deal with the 2 states that I know the best. New York, because that's where I live. Georgia, because that's where I work. Okay? Now, New York is a tax deed state. Georgia is a tax lien state. What's the difference? They both go to auction, right? They both go to auctions. You both go to auctions. How do you acquire the properties? Through an auction. You have to register for the auction. They give you a paddle number, and you literally go on auction off these properties. Okay, that's how it happens. Here's the difference. When you buy a property in a tax deed state at the auction, you immediately become the owner. If you buy a property at a tax lien state, hi Nehemiah, how are you? If you buy a property at an auction on a tax lien state, you do not become the property owner for a certain amount of time. In Georgia, that time is 1 year. Wait a minute, hold up, Delisa. Wait. You mean to tell me I done gave my money to the people and I can't go in this house? I can't have access to this house? They can do what they want to do to this house? Yes, that's exactly what I said. Okay, now, tax deed in New York, you get the property, your paperwork goes through, everything is done, you send them money, you can't access the property, you can't have anything to do with the property. You actually have to wait until you receive the deed. Okay, you have to receive the deed in hand on a tax deed property in a tax deed state. It usually takes anywhere from 60 to 90 days. But once that deed is received, you own the property. You can do what you want with it at that time. If there's tenants in it, you can evict them. If there's not, then you can go in, you can bogart the door, knock it in, do what you want to do with it. You can do whatever you want to do with that property at that time. On a tax lien state, you are literally letting this person borrow your money. Yep. The owner is borrowing your money. You get their property out of default with the taxes. Your name goes on the deed. Yep. Your name goes on the deed. So if they try to sell it, they still have to pay you. And they have up to 364 days to come and say, hey, I have the tax money, and give you your money back plus the interest. I think the interest is like 20%, which is good. Don't quote me on the percentage though, but it's good. They have to give you your money back plus the interest. And if they have up to 364 days to do that. What kind of crazy cockamamie BS is this? That's what y'all saying if y'all buy houses and y'all know this. Y'all like, what? But here's the thing. The taxes was only $1,500. You got up to $5,000. The house is worth $200,000. You just made $195,000. But Delisa, you just said I can't do anything with the house until next year. Yeah, that's what they said. I didn't say that. I was telling you what they said. Here's what I say. I say find this owner and get them to sign something saying get them to sign that property over to you immediately, removing their name from the deed. They don't want no responsibility from it. Get you an attorney to write that up and get that property immediately and sell it for the $200,000 that it's worth and make your $195,000. Oh, but Delisa, yeah, I can't do that. Yes, you can. Let me explain something to y'all before y'all get beside yourselves, okay? Some of these tax liens, that's what it is. Say tax lien. The city, the county, the state, whoever it is, they put a lien against that property for the taxes that are owed. Now, if this person, and it doesn't go by how much they owe, it goes by how long they haven't paid. You get what I'm saying? So on a tax lien, all right, y'all, my battery just said he about to die. So I gotta hurry up. So the tax liens, you make 20, and if that person comes back to you, they have to make, so if you paid $5,000 for the house, they have to pay the $5,000 plus 20%, so they have to give you $6,000. So here you got your money back and you made $1,000. Yeah, you had to wait a year to get it, but they got it back. Now, on the other side, you praying that they don't come back because that property is worth more. Who don't want to sell this house right now for $195 and make $195,000? Say me, and I'll call you crazy. Okay, just thinking. I just thought so. Just saying. But anyway, that's how tax liens work. Tax deeds, we're going to have to talk about that tomorrow. We'll talk about New York State and their crazy tax deeds tomorrow. We'll go back. We'll do this tomorrow. So, homework, should you choose to join me tomorrow, your homework is to register. Is to text DIVA in all caps, DIVA, to 716-306-3316. Join Hammers and Heels on Facebook and get into this and be able to get into this. Because I'm telling you, when I say seats are limited, they usually go. The last time I did this class, I had to add seats, but this time I'm not going to be able to. Okay, I'm being honest with you. I can't do it this time. This is a free class. This is my master class for the month of July. We're going to talk about these 5 creative finance strategies in detail. And we're going to get it done. All right. And if you can't make it, there will be a replay available, but it's going to cost you. It won't be free. Sorry. All right. I'm sorry. All righty. Now, I'm going to open this up for about 5 minutes of Q&A. And then we're going to be done. Because that's all the time I got. I'm telling you, Instagram is going to cut me off. So if it cuts me off on Instagram, it's going to delete this video. So what I'm going to do on Instagram is I'm going to stop this video and I'm going to come back on. Y'all join me back and we can answer some questions. Okay? All right. I'm still on Facebook. Repeat the number, 716-306-3316. I'm still repeating that number. And then I got to get back on Instagram. There we go. All right, IG, I'm back. I'm sorry, but I didn't want to risk losing that video. And then y'all would have had to go over here to the Real Estate Diva page on Facebook to look it up. But yeah, it's so if you guys have questions, let me know. Drop your questions in the comments. The class is on July 30th. I teach this class. I teach a master class once a week. People always ask me about how can they join, how can they be, how can the coaching programs. The coaching programs, first of all, there's 3. I have my mentorship, which is Hammers and Heels Elite. That is a program. It's $4.99 for the year, or you can pay $47 a month, whichever you choose. Click the link in the bio, tap a button that says Hammers and Heels Elite, and you can join into that. It's $47 a month, or you can pay all at once for $4.99. What we do in there is we have a weekly Q&A every Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are on Zoom live with our weekly Q&As. We do a lesson, and then we take questions and answers about that. We talk about our joint venture agreements and things that we have going on. Like today, we talked about multifamily properties, because I am now getting into multifamily properties, and I'm talking these properties. The one property I have for sale right now has 1,600 units. So we're talking multifamily. Okay. Not just 2 to 4 units. This is multifamily properties. I think the smallest one I have available right now has 72 units. So we're getting into that type of investment conversation. we're talking about. So we talk about those things and how we can make these things benefit us as investors. Hammers and Hills is a group of like-minded individuals, like-minded real estate investors that are just willing to learn, earn, grow, and enhance their real estate investment business with other like-minded individuals. You get one free 60-minute strategy session where I will come up with a blueprint for you and your business. We also have a private Facebook group for more enhanced coaching and assistance, because sometimes I'm one person and it's a lot of y'all and it's only one of me. So if somebody says, hey, you know what, I want to know, how do I calculate this? You can put it in the group and somebody's going to answer you. So we have that camaraderie going. And like I said, you also get the replays of all of my lives, because some of my lives I don't keep up. This one I'm going to keep up and let you guys have, but some of them we don't keep up, so you don't get them, but Hammers and Hills gets to replays. Then there's In These Real Estate Streets. That's a 1-year program. Hammers and Hills is ongoing. You can stay in it as long as you want. You can quit whenever you want. You don't have to. There's no commitment. There's a commitment, so to speak, within these real estate streets, because here's what happens. In these real estate streets, we have 4 modules. We meet every Wednesday night for a group strategy session, and then we meet once a quarter, so you get 4 60-minute one-on-one sessions throughout the year. I say spread that out over a quarter. Every master class that I do, they get the materials, they get the workbooks, they get the worksheets, they get the materials, they get the videos, they get everything in these real estate streets. Now that one is a little bit more pricier, of course. And it's more of because it's more hands-on, it's more access to us building one-on-one. And I also only let so many people into that program per cycle. Okay, now, and the cycles start July, not too late to get in, because I'm still loading videos, and we actually don't have our first cycle group strategy session until this Wednesday coming up. Right now, there's 3 people in that program. There's 7 spots. There's 7 more spots available. Yeah, 7 or more. I haven't decided yet, but it depends, because I am a little bit more hands-on with these people. So the 4 modules, the first one is Creative Finance Strategies. We teach you in depth about all 5 of the strategies. Well, it's actually 10 different strategies that we go through for Creative Finance Strategies. The 5 that I talked about, plus there's 5 more that we go over. Then there's portfolio building and management. We'll teach you how to use those strategies to build a portfolio, create systems to manage your own properties, or to hire someone to property manage that for you, so you can live as passively as you possibly can. Then we have flipping houses. That's where I take you through my specific 6-step blueprint to flip an actual house. And we talk about the financing, the construction budgets, how to hire contractors, what you need, what you don't need, the ins and outs. So I'm going to tell you A to Z. We go A to Z on that. And then there's the business formation piece. Now, in the business formation piece, and people say, well, why do you do that at the end? Well, we don't do it at the end. We do it all throughout, but we combine everything at the end to make sure your systems are in place, make sure your marketing is right, make sure everything you need is intact, so that you can build a brand for your business and people know you as a resource for whatever it is that you decided to focus on for the rest of your real estate investment career. So that's why it's at the end, but we do touch on it all throughout. So that program is normally $4,997 for the year. Some of y'all out here paying people tens of thousands of dollars just to show y'all how to do an Airbnb course, and I don't get it, but okay. Some of y'all out here paying tens of thousands of dollars for somebody to teach y'all how to wholesale. That's okay. I'm charging $4,997 just to learn everything, right? And this week until Saturday of this week. Saturday of this week, you can get it for $29.97. No, I'm sorry. Was it $29? No, it's not. It's $12.97 for 1,000. It's $19.97. $1,997. You can get that whole year class. You can join. Are there payment plans available? Absolutely. Is there afterpay available where you can? Yes, you can create your own payment plans with afterpay and all that other stuff. I'm not a hard ass. I just want everybody to win. And I think the conversations that we're not having, that weren't had with us, we need to start having with our children in these real estate streets. And then there's my one-on-one coaching program where I coach you individually for 6 straight weeks, one-on-one. And you get to choose what we're going to concentrate on for those 6 weeks. It's a customized, structured program specifically for you. No 2 people have the same program. I customize this program specifically for you. We work on whatever. If you say wholesaling, then that's what we're going to work on for 6 weeks. If you say Airbnb, then that's what we're going to work on for 6 weeks. I will tell you, because it is a lot of work that you will do on your own. And it does include the course and the materials. So if you say wholesaling, you will get the wholesaling course that I teach with the workbook, with the materials, and we will meet every week one-on-one. And I will be teaching you from some stuff from that program, and then some stuff is going to be straight from up here to what you need to do and what direction you need to take based on what you came to the table with. Okay? Airbnb, same thing. You will get the program. Flipping houses, same thing. You will get the program. So whatever one-on-one course you take, that was it. Now, one-on-one right now is only $9.97, believe it or not. You guys thought it was going to be way more? Nope. It's only $9.97 until Saturday. Then the price is going to go up. All right. Now, if you have questions about what we just talked about, we just went over a lot. We went on this thing for 1 hour and 10 minutes already. We just went over the process for wholesaling, the process for Airbnb, talked about how you can build your portfolio. We talked about seller financing, tax deeds, tax liens, and subject to. Like I said, there's 5 more strategies that I use that we haven't touched on yet, but maybe we'll talk about that later. And this is all to get you started. All 5 of these can be done. And as you said, I told you, I just used $1,500. The taxes, you $5,000 to get it. I used $5,000 to get a $125,000 house. Let me tell you about the one deal I did a couple years ago. I got a duplex for $80,000. I put $5,000 down. I paid all the closing costs. So once the closing costs came out, I paid like about $7,500. I rented the one unit out for $900 a month. I rented the other unit out for $800 a month. They gave me $1,700 a month. Do you know I only had to pay this man $500 a month? 0% interest. That house, when I bought it, came in at $110,000. I had it appraised a few months ago, and it's worth $180,000. $180,000. Now, I could sell it and make $100,000, or I could refinance it and pull out money and do another project. See what I'm saying? So this is why I tell people creative finance strategies, because that's what you need if you don't have a lot of money to get started. Don't let these people talk y'all out of doing these Airbnb arbitrage. It's not as crazy as it sounds. Well, if you take the right coaching program and you get done the right way, it's not as crazy as it sounds. But I do know this: you have to do it the right way. These regulations is getting crazy. It's not that they don't want you to make any money. They just want a piece of your money. And a lot of y'all not paying taxes. Y'all think Airbnb is free money, and it's not. So again, text the word DIVA in all caps to 716-306-3316. That will put you into Hammers and Heels. Also, we have the free masterclass coming up on July 30th. On July 30th, you will get, we're going to be in that thing for about 2 hours. I already know it. It's 11 a.m. on a Saturday morning. So y'all who get up Saturday morning, go to cleaning your houses, do that mess early. Leave them kids alone, let them sleep for once. Okay? Child abuse, you don't let your kids get enough sleep. That's what my uncle used to tell us. So, join me on Saturday, July 30th at 11 a.m. Hammers and Heels, that link will be available to you tomorrow. It will be put in the group. It will be put in your emails, and it will be text to you. Okay? Everyone else, it will be available. If there are seats available, that link will be sent out on my link and on my profile page after be Wednesday. All right. Now, you guys don't have any questions because I don't see any questions in the question queue. I don't see any questions in the comments. So I've been up since 5 a.m. So I'm tired. And by being tired, that means I'm going to bed. So I'm going to wash my face, take a shower, put my hair up. Yeah, put these braids up. And then I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to read. I got to read 10 pages, and then I'm going to go to bed. Because I'm back to reading my book, Think and Grow Rich, because I think everybody should read that book too. And we talked about doing a book club before. I think we might bring that back. But if we do that, it's not going to be on Instagram, and it's not going to be on the Real Estate Diva Facebook page. It will be inside the Hammers and Heels group. What are the other 5 strategies I use? Mobile homes, lease options, OPM. Mobile homes, lease options, OPM, and insurance. And it was another one I can't remember right now because I'm not looking at those notes. I'm just looking at the notes for tonight's class. But we go over that. Those other 5 we go over in these real estate streets in detail and in depth. But yes, we do. Tax deeds, tax liens, Airbnb, seller finance. We teach you how to get private financing. That's another one. We talk about traditional loans, hard money loans. We go over everything. Because we out here. I've been out here for 24 years. And I love real estate. It's the one thing I've done that actually keeps me from being bored. I get bored really easy. But the 2 words you will never hear me say is I'm bored. Because I like to read. So as long as I know how to read and love to read, I'm not going to be bored. You're welcome. Humbled by the process. Do you do wholesaling? That's one of the strategies, yes. See, the problem with me is I'll get a house and I'll wholesale. Wholesaling is where you find a house that you want to wholesale, you close on it, you put you might put a new door, you might paint, and then you sell it. You don't put a lot of work into it, but you do put some work into it. And then you sell it for a profit. Problem with me is I want to keep the house once I do a little bit of work to it, I want to keep it and rent it out and make that money that way. Yeah. We're also talking about in our wholesaling classes, we teach you guys how to wholesale subject to lease options, mobile homes, seller finance deals. Yeah, because they can be wholesale. We teach you how to do that as well. But that's in these real estate streets where I'm getting ready to, sign off from. Because I tell everybody, I'll say I'm out here in these streets. But yeah. I walk on the sidewalk a lot too. So I'm learning multifamily. I'm learning a lot about multifamily because I want to own these. No, I don't do land contracts. Not really. I'm not into land a lot. In the way I wholesale land and the way other people will wholesale land is totally different. And I'm probably going to make more money doing it my way. When I wholesale land, I do it as a package. I get plans drawn up, everything else. I sell you the blueprints. I'll go get your zoning done. Here you go. I'm not just going to sell the land. By the time I get it to you, you're ready to pull permits. And you can pull your permits and go on about your business. See, and that's where a lot of wholesalers don't have that type of time. So, Nah, and I don't really dabble in land. I let Sean do that. Sean is one of my really good friends. She is the land queen. And I just let her have it. Something in my mouth. I think it's something in my teeth. Carlton Sheets would be proud of you. Who's Carlton? Carlton Sheets. I'm gonna have to look him up. Let me write his name down right now. Not with actual land. You talking about? I meant no with land, but real estate houses. Yeah. See, I don't do that part either. The land contracts and all that, I'm not even going to get into. I like properties that I can move. Like if I get ready to move it, there's a they have a land contract and a land trust here in Buffalo in a particular neighborhood, and I will not buy a house in that neighborhood because I'm not getting tied up in that mess. And it's a lot going on with those, and you have to be very careful with those. You have to see what's the requirements, what is the criteria. You have to go in. It's a lot into that, and I'm too lazy to do stuff like that. I'm being real honest. I'm old, okay, and I don't like getting into things that I can't get out of real easy. Because if I get into it and I feel like this is not right for me, I want to be able to let it go real quick. And sometimes with those land contracts, you can't do that. There's one person, they got a 99-year land contract with a particular neighborhood. And people study trying to buy houses in this neighborhood like they're going to break the land contract. You can't do that. I don't have time. And I'm not going to be bothered. That's just me, though. I hear a lot of people say it's easy money and they can do it. I tell everybody, stick with your niche. Whatever it is that you want to do, that's what you focus on. And I'm a firm believer in what you focus on will expand. But that's not something I wanted to get into ever. And I just don't. Even flipping land. Like I said, I watch Sean do it, and she does it with such ease. Anytime I get a land plot, any acreages of land or whatever, here you go. I'll sell it to her. I'll let her wholesale it, and we just split an assignment fee because I'm not doing all that. 90s late night and Saturday afternoon real estate and commercial game. I'm gonna have to look him up because I don't know. I don't remember him. I'm gonna have to look him up. Carlton Sheets. Yeah, I wrote his name down. I'm gonna have to look it up. So that's where I am. That's what I do. Let's see. Okay, now what actually is. Okay, I'm just making sure I don't miss comments and questions. So yeah, I don't do like humble by the process. I'm just very particular about what I like to get into. Be honest with you, I still have a goal to put 16 more Airbnbs on my roster by the end of this year. And I just found the perfect place for me to get at least 4 or 5 of them. So yeah, I'm talking about arbitrage. I'm not even talking about buying them yet. Well, I have 6 of them in here in Buffalo that I'm negotiating right now for a seller finance deal. This guy is gonna seller finance me a 6 unit. Yep. So I stick to what I like to do, what I know. I give everybody a foundation so they can branch off into other areas of real estate to do what they like to do and what they like to do, what they know. But for the most part, no. I don't build yet. I do want to build. I want to develop a build to rent. I want to develop a build to rent neighborhood, not a build to own. And if I do own, I want it to be for my FHA people who had a hard time during this little sellers market we had. You're in Georgia. If you need boots on the ground, DM me your name and your phone number, your email address. We'll talk. And y'all had a hard time, but I want to develop not starter home, entry level housing, not I hate when people say low income housing. No, it's entry level housing. This is where we're gonna have 3-4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, or 2.5 bathrooms, nice yards, and you let people rent these neighborhoods. You let people rent these houses. If they like them enough, they can rent to own. Duh. And that's what you do. It's just that simple. But that's like that's my cake, so to speak. And then the cherry on top of my cake is to own a boutique hotel. Yep. And guess what I'm doing tomorrow, just to give you guys an idea. I am interviewing for the Hyatt Hotel here in Buffalo to work at their front desk. Why? Because I need to learn the front desk operations of a hotel. It's just that simple. And why not get paid to be trained? There's a thought. I got that from the guy. I don't remember his name. I'm going to look him up. His name is Junior or something. But he played in the NBA. And he was like third string on the bench, whatever. He only made like $300,000-$400,000 a year in his salary. And we say only because it's bad. We talk about NBA basketball money. He wasn't making millions and millions a year. He was making $350,000 to $400,000 a year. Excuse me. And he wanted to own a Wendy's. So in the off season, he went and worked at Wendy's. And now he owns like 100 different Wendy's franchises across the nation and the world. And he's worth $400 million. So yeah, I want to own 3 boutique hotels. Probably within the next 4 years. So I'm going to work the front desk. Got an interview tomorrow. I'll let y'all know how it goes tomorrow night when I come on. All right. Oh yeah, and for those of you who were in the Airbnb workshop last week, tomorrow night at 7 p.m. we're gonna do day 5 and be done because we had to skip a day last week. So our makeup day is tomorrow at 7 p.m. and I'll shoot you guys an email and a text to let you know. All right, guys. I'm gonna go. It's been real, it's been nice. My son keeps calling me and interrupting my lives. So I gotta call and see what he wants. Okay? I'll talk to you later. And like I always tell you guys before I sign off, you can be anything you choose to be in this world. I just hope you choose to be kind. Because at some point in your life, somebody has shown you some kindness. And it's always good to pay kindness forward. All right, I'll talk to you later. Love and like you a lot. Bye.